See you again, loyal freestyle viewers. Before we continue the explanation, please give us a subscribe and like. Thank you. Manufacturing recycled paper. Manufacturing recycled papers involves a multi-stage process that starts with the raw material of waste paper and ends with the final product of a recycled paper that is comparable with virgin fiber papers both technically, aesthetically and on press. Recycled paper can either be manufactured, inline pulp and paper produced in one process, or recycled pulp can be produced and transported to a paper mill for paper production. For this example we have shown the inline process: raw materials, pulping, screening, de-inking, whitening, pulp preparation, wet section, pulp transformation, drying, coating, jumbo reel, coating. Raw materials. The main raw material used to manufacture recycled paper is waste paper. We use post-consumer waste paper, which means it has been used by the customer for its final use. It takes approximately 1.2 tons of waste paper to produce 1 ton of recycled paper. It would take around 2.5 tons of wood to produce the equivalent virgin fiber paper. Pulping. Sorted waste paper is dispersed in water in the pulper to separate fibers, ink and other components. Cyclonic purification allows for complete elimination of all contaminants and non-fibrous materials such as minerals, plastics, staples, dirts. In addition, 99% of ink and glue is removed from the pulp during this process whilst preserving cellulose fiber quality. De-inking. Ink is extracted from the pulp mix through flotation. Air is blown into the bottom of the tank with soap, which creates bubbles. The hydrophobic ink particles stick to bubbles that float to the surface. The ink is then skimmed from the surface. 90% of the residue produced by this process is put to agricultural use, composting and spreading, or used as a raw material to produce cement and bricks. Whitening. Our recycled pulp is produced without the use of chlorine, a process chlorine-free (PCF) method. The whitening process uses biodegradable cleaners. Color is removed from the fibers using sodium hydrosulfate, a reductive bleach. Hydrogen peroxide is used to brighten the fibers, and when disposed of it breaks down into water and oxygen. Pulp preparation. If the pulp and paper manufacturing process are split, it is at this stage that the pulp will need to be transported to the paper mill. In this case, pulp is dried and cut into bales. For an inline process, the pulp is cleaned, refined and purified in a 97% water mix containing both long and short cellulose fibers. Wet section. The pulp mix is poured from the head box onto a wire mesh, usually made from nylon, called the wire. The fibers mesh together on the wire whilst water is drained to form the sheet. Water is collected, recycled and ultimately treated prior to being returned to the environment, often cleaner than when extracted. Pulp transformation. As the water drains, the pulp mesh becomes a wet paper base. The paper base is fed into the press section, where it is pressed between two absorbent cylinders to extract more water. Most of the remaining moisture in the paper is evaporated in the drying section as it goes through a set of heated cylinders. The now dry paper web is called the base paper. Drying. First stage. To improve the surface of the base paper, it receives a coating of size. The sizing material is fed onto rollers from a vat. The sizing is to reduce the paper's moisture absorbency. Drying. Second stage. Having been wetted, the base paper goes through another drying stage to eliminate moisture added by the coating. The jumbo reel. At the end of the paper machine, paper is wound onto jumbo reels. By using a flying splice arrangement between reels, the machine speed remains constant. Depending on the product and substance, this reel can weigh 15 to 20 tons. Final coating. After quality checks and depending on the required finish, the coatings are applied on the coating machine. The coating contains a mixture of mineral pigments, binders, synthetic latex etc., and color additives. This reel is then cut down into smaller reels which can be packaged or further cut down and packaged as sheets. The recycling of paper is the process by which waste paper is turned into new paper products. It has a number of important benefits. It saves waste paper from occupying homes of people and producing methane as it breaks down. Because paper fiber contains carbon, originally absorbed by the tree from which it was produced, recycling keeps the carbon locked up for longer and out of the atmosphere. Around 2/3 of all paper products in the US are now recovered and recycled, although it does not all become new paper. After repeated processing, the fibers become too short for the production of new paper, which is why virgin fiber, from sustainably farmed trees, is frequently added to the pulp recipe. So much discussion from me. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment below, so that we always update other interesting content.